Okay, so once again, thank you for being with us. My name is Manny Exlawak, and today we'll be talking about OmniHub general information and features. Thank you so much for being with us. Time, your presence is very fully appreciated. So let's start with this presentation. First of all, I want to tell you who we are. We are a company, as you know, has been all over the market, all over the world. We have companies in the U.S. We have also in China, we have Australia, even including France and Europe. So a company that was founded in 1925 by Mr. Irving Hayward, and then after that it was acquired by the Davis family. It was sold in 2017 to a private equity consortium, and today we have more than 2,400 employees, 10 manufacturing companies, distributors, centers, and sales all over the world, as you can see here in this description. Today, we'll be talking about OmniHub. Tomorrow, April 8th, we'll be talking about OmniLogic, which is, I like to say, the daddy or the dad of the OmniHub. It's a bigger system. So you will be having access for that. And just make sure that when you get the email, you register independently for each one of these webinars. We'll be talking about automatic cleaners on Thursday. And then next week, we have a new schedule. We'll be talking about all the programming of the OmniHub and the OmniLogic. It's the same thing for both of them, but you will be seeing that picture by picture, how to program the systems. So don't forget about that one, because that's totally new. And this is a really good thing to be at. Then on Wednesday, April 15th, we'll be talking about commercial pumps and filters. And then on Thursday, the 16th, commercial automation and chemistry. So please join us. Remember, our webinars are going to be Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. You can see here on the top part, those are the webinars we have already made. We'll be doing them again. So it's just going to be a cycle. So just keep in touch with us for the future webinars. So let's talk about OmniHub. Okay, so what is OmniHub? Well, OmniHub was created by Hayward to make automation more accessible. We can say cheaper, since we know that automation was or still is very expensive. Well, our system is so much cheaper, but besides that, I mean, it's got the best automation, as you can see, very simple to use. You can see here on the right side, you can see the picture of the iPhone, how you can just click on the filter pump and turn it on or off. Same thing with the lights. It's so simple, but at the same time, very innovative, something newer, more advanced. So with this kind of system, I mean, you can either control it from a screen, since when you purchase this OmniHub, there will be a screen, a controller that you can use. You can mount on the wall, and I'll talk about that more in advance. But besides that, I mean, obviously you can use your phone through a free app and simply control everything from your phone from anywhere, any place in the world. And also, this system also has voice command, where you can connect this to Alexa or Google Home. New application for people that haven't seen it. We changed the platform, so this is going to be a lot easier to maneuver, but you'll still have both options, the old style and the new style, depending on what you use. But in the future, everything's going to be pretty much this kind of application or this kind of app or platform. This is going to be made for iPhone and also for any Android app. In the computer, you can see the old version. The old version, that was the original one. Still not that bad. It's still really good. Very easy to use. So you will see both of them so far at this point. Okay, on the left side, we can see how we can show everything about the pool. and at the same time choose anything from the menu. And then if we get an alarm, it will tell you, even send you a email telling you that there's an issue, there's a problem, or just simply something that needs some attention. On the right side, we can see how we can look at our climate at this point. This is only for the US, for United States, but soon it will become available for every single country in our territory. So just sit tight and have a little bit of patience, and this will be great for all of us. You can see favorites and themes, and also shortcuts to change speed in the pumps and heaters. And you can see here in the middle how we can control our pH or our P and our balance in our chemistry, as long as we have something that we call sense of dispense, and you will see it soon. So if we want to control this through Alexa, you can do that, even Google Home. And all we have to understand is that this is only for accounts created in the US. So keep that in mind. And also it's only for English. But I mean, you can tell Alexa, Alexa, I want to turn on my lights on blue, or tell Hayward to turn on the pump or turn on my heater to 85 degrees, and Alexa, it will do it for you. So you don't even have to pick up your phone anymore. So this is a great advantage. Also, the system is available to be in contract or in combination with any one of these internet options or home automations, which is Elon, RTI, Savant, Vantage, Crestron, or even Nest, and Control 4, by the way. So as you know, everything is coming to a point where everything's going to be automated. So we have to be all creative. We have to be all up to speed. And here you can see from a lot of things you can do. Just simply turn on your music just by saying something, like with Sonos, or turn on the light bulb with voice, or turn it off, or bring your curtains down, or simply have command over your pool. So this is what we get with Alexa. Why automation? Well, automation will allow you to do everything you want. Simply just turn on the cleaner or turn it off, waterfalls, lights, change colors, look at your chemistry of your pool. If you have the system that we call sense and dispense, and you can see also when we have some problems with it, since it will give you alarms. So, and you can see this from wherever you are, any place, at the airport, in a different city, you name it. So OmniHub, what do you get with this? I mean, you get the OmniHub, which is the one on the left, which is this control box. You can see here when the cursor control box where you do all the low voltage connections. At the same time, you get one smart relay, which is the one in the middle. These relays, I will talk about them in a little bit. Also, you get the screen or the touchpad control, and then you get a free app for your phone, either iPhone or any Android platform you have. Main features. What can we control with this, and what does it come with? Well, first of all, you can control any variable speed pump or single speed pumps. How many? We'll mention that in a second. Temperature, you have control over that. You have control over chlorine and ORP. At the same time, you have the choice of having spa mode and your lights, which is very important, and you will see there in a second. This system was created to be really fast and easy to install in just 5 steps. So again, what can we control? BS pumps, heaters, chlorination, spa mode, pool mode, lights, cleaners, and water features. What does the package include? Well, include the, again, I'll say one more time, the control screen. It also has Wi-Fi connection, low voltage hub, which is the one in the middle. And then we'll have one smart relay, connection cables, and 2 temperature sensors. That's what we get with the package. You can add up to more relays, up to 3, and you can add more things. But just hold on 1 second and we'll see that right about here. So at this point, what can we control with this OmniHub? Just to let you know, at the beginning, it was very simple. It only controlled 4 things. Originally was 1 variable speed pump, 1 heater, 1 relay, and then the 4th one, which was the last one, had to be either a relay or a smart relay that we call, or a actuator valve. Well, at this point, since you get free upgrades, you can control up through 3 variable speed pumps, 3 smart relays, the modem of salt and dispense, which is for chemistry to control your pH, and also your chlorine level through ORP, 1 chlorinator, 2 valves, and then 1 heater. The heater could be either gas heater or heat pump. Doesn't matter. It's a dry contact. In the future, we're going to be controlling, actually up to this date, we can control 2 heaters individually, but one of them will require a smart relay. In the future, things are going to be growing, so we're going to have more things to it. And again, the upgrades are free, so you don't have to spend any money. You just have to update your system, and you'll be good to go. So here we see it again, what we can control in numbers, and then also what we can add to this system. We can add wireless controllers. We can add a spa side control, which is on the right top. We can add a board that controls a chlorinator, and then also any one of our lights. And we have the option of Omni Direct. What is Omni Direct? You will see it in just a couple more minutes. Actually, I take that back. We can see it right here. What is Omni Direct? Omni Direct, it's a new programming that came up last year with the system where our lights, first of all, our lights come with 10 fixed colors and also 7 shows of colors. Okay, with Omni Direct, when you have this kind of software, you get the option of 10 more colors. These new colors are more like yellows, whites, um, gold, orange, and also some green blue colors. So you will have the option for those. At the same time, with this new technology, you will get quicker change in the colors. It will change from one color to the other one right away in less than a second. And then you can dim this colors in increments of 10%. I'm sorry, 20%. And you can change the speed of the colors also when we're talking about shows. So you have a show that is too fast for you or too slow, you can bring the speed faster or even bring it lower. Now let's talk about Sense and Dispense. What is this system? This system is a system that has 2 sensors, one of them to control your pH and the other one to control your chlorine level. Okay, with this, what do we get? We get pretty much a pool guy or a pool technician checking your water 24/7 and adding chemicals as it needs. So we're going to have a pool chemically balanced 24/7. So with this, we get better water quality, and then chlorination systems will try to raise your pH. So we're going to have to bring the pH down. The system will do that, and also convenience. This is what it looks like. A little chamber that has 2 sensors where water flows. And while water is flowing, those sensors are detecting your chemistry, your pH, and your chlorine level. And then we can also add this dispense system in the bottom left, which is pretty much a tank that has, in this kind of example, it will have muriatic acid to add acid to the pool whenever it needs it to keep your pH balanced. So as you can see, in this case, our pH, not only the chlorine, but the pH will be pretty much balanced 24/7, you know? So you don't get those spikes, the spikes in chemistry that normally you get whenever you have somebody come. For example, if you have a guy that comes over once a week, well, he's going to add enough chemicals to that pool so the pool can maintain itself clean until next week that the guy sees the pool. Well, in this case, it's just like adding little doses one at a time so it can keep a pH balance, and at the same time it works the same way for your chlorine. If the chlorine doesn't need to be added, this little system will not do it. So this is a little add-on that we can do so we can have a perfect chemistry and have a good water level, a good water chemistry, a good water that will not affect us, that will be good for us to swim and will not cause any infections. And one more time, this is how it looks like. The chemistry chamber on the left side, we have the tank on the right side, but this is what we get with this system. So let's talk about installation and part description. Okay. This system was created to be very simple to install. I'm going to show here with a small picture. Step number one is to mount our hub, which is the white. Here you go, the white box in the middle. This connection box, it's where you do all the low voltage connections. Okay, this will take place of the regular time clock that we always have. We're not going to need the time clock anymore. Step number two will be to replace the pump, and then the electrical that used to go to the time clock back to the pump, well, now it's going to go into the hub and then out to the pump. Okay, so we're just going to do this as a little junction box. And then step number three will be to replace all the switches to turn on, for example, the lights, or to turn on the blower, or maybe single speed pumps. Well, now we're going to use smart relays, and that's going to be controlled by the hub, which is the one in the center. Step number four will be to do all the low voltage connections, like the valves, the heater, the sensors, and the connection for the pump. We're talking about communication cables, and then we can connect the control and the relays. And then step number five will be to turn on our controller, do the Wi-Fi connection, and do the programming. This is what it's going to look like after you're done. Very simple installation. I'll give you a second on that one. Remember, if you have any questions, please write them down on the question section. I'll be happy to respond anything at the end of this conversation or this webinar. So again, very easy connection. We have our hub in the middle. That took place of the time clock. And then we have a smart relay, which took place of the on-off switch for the lights. In this example, it could be any other 120 or 240 volt thing. And then the controller, we can just mount it on the wall. And this controller is waterproof. There's no issue with that. So you can put it out in the open. You have nothing to worry about that part either. So here you go. 5 steps, just in written. So we just install the hub and the controller on the wall. We replace the pump. We install the smart relays. We do all the low voltage connections. And then after that, we do the programming of the system. Terms you got to know about this. These terms are on the board where we do all the low voltage connections. You'll see in a second, but LVR means low voltage relay. HVR, high voltage relay. VLB, that's valve actuator. Smart component, that's pretty much anything that communicates with the system through data. For example, BS pumps or the chlorinator or the system salt sensor dispense, or even the external controllers like the spa side or the wireless control. HUA, that means that's a unique address. So for example, if you have several variable speed pumps installed into the system will ask you for the HUA, and the HUA, it's unique address of that pump. So that way you can tell the system, okay, the one that has this address is the one that is going to do filtration, and the one that has this address is the one that's going to do the fountain, for example. So that's what the HUA means, and it's for controller. We understand that part is that screen that comes with the system, and the hub also comes with the system where we do all the low voltage connections. This is the controller, easy to use. It's touchscreen, very clear. We just gotta press and then turn on whatever we want on and off, or do schedules, or simply do timers, egg timers, and then you can see here on the left side, you can see the temperature of the water, if it's on pool mode or spa mode or something else, the time, air temperature, you can see all that. But very important, on the bottom, you have connections. First, the one on top, you have the USB connection. That's so you can plug in a USB, and that USB can be used to update the system. Like I said, in the future, we're going to have more things. So you got to do is just download the new software from our site, and then just plug it in, update the system, and it's just like brand new. And then after that, on the bottom, we have the internet connection. So what does that mean? Well, the system comes with Wi-Fi, but if for some reason we have no good Wi-Fi signal, or if you want to be more secure and you want to bring a cable so it can be connected to the internet 24/7 nonstop, then you can do that too. All you got to do is just plug it in. It's all ready for it. Nothing additional to buy. Once again, touch screen. So there's no problem using your finger or some kind of stylus. You're good to go. And then how do we mount this? The installation. Well, this system, it's very simple, as we said before. So it's meant for existing pools, and nowadays it's become so successful that it's actually being sold for new pools. But at the beginning was meant for existing pools. So either you can mount it on the wall, as you can see here, using some screws on top or bottom, either on a wall that is made out of concrete or simply wood, or you can use a 4x4 and just screw it in. At the same time, you can use these rods or steel rods, so you can just wrap it around, use some kind of wraps for that, or around some kind of post or pole. Okay, so you have all those options to do it. The controller will need to be screw in because it needs to be engaged into two screws. But I mean, that's got 15 feet of cable, so then you can move that control a little bit closer to a wall or something. And then the hub itself on the inside, which is the board that has all the connections, the low voltage connections. What are those? Well, let's start with the bottom. The bottom is going to be the feed. Okay, so this part right here that you see with my cursor, that's going to be voltage that we steal from the connection of the variable speed pump in this case. Remember, this takes place of the time clock. So there's got to be some kind of voltage coming in, and then after that it goes to the pump. Well, in this case, we just wire not that voltage, not only to feed the pump, but also to feed the board. And then on the right side, in the right middle, we have connection plugs for two valves, for two actuator valves. Okay. There are 3-pin connectors, so there's no way to miss that. And then on top right, we have the connection for the controller. that's a 4-pin connector. So that would not fit anywhere else. So we can't miss that part either. In the middle, we have a bar where we connect all the sensors and the connection for our first heater, which I will show in a second. And then on the left side, top left, we have a communication bus, which in RS485, that's where we're going to be connecting anything that communicates with the system through data. For example, variable speed pumps, our chlorinator, um, the sensor dispense system, which is the one for chemistry, pH and ORP, and also any other control, any other digital control that we add to the system. And then last, we'll have this little connector, which looks like a phone jack. This will be for a flow sensor, which we'll need in case we put any type of chemistry system to the system. Connection, as I said, the only high voltage comes from the bottom, but pretty much it's just to feed the controller. It's like a bypass. So we're just wiring up the connection either for 240 or 120. You can do both. So all you got to do is just simply take energy from that pump so we can control this board or actually turn it on. Relays, the relays are meant, they are called smart relays, by the way, because they are connecting to the system through data. So they communicate through data. Okay, but on the back, you can plug in anything that you want. That's either 110, as you can see here, or 240. So anything that comes on and off, for example, um, single speed pumps, blowers, feeding pumps, or even a robotic cleaner that requires energy can be plugged here. So again, anything that is 120, 240. Okay, so these relays control that, turn on and off whatever is that. Here you can see the connection for 240. It's just simply a different kind of wiring. Just follow the instructions. They are actually on the relay itself, so you're not going to have a problem with that. And plus, you will get this presentation so you can see it and you can review it or have it handy whenever you need it. In the case of lights, when I mention the Omni Direct, which is when you have more options of colors and all that, you will require this little item that we call snubber. It's like a little filter. This little snubber or filter, what it does is it's going to clean the signal when it comes into the transformer. So it's important to have it. Here's a part number. You actually can get this locally also if you want, and the installation is very simple. It's just a 2-wire little item. One of them goes to the hotline coming in, the second one to the neutral. So very simple to install. There's no problem with that. And then let's jump to the installation. When we talk about installation with BS pumps, variable speed pumps, this is what a TriStar 900 looks like on the inside. It's a very easy installation. High voltage on the right side, 120 in the ground, and on the left side we'll have our communication cable for our control. If we have to install this to a system of automation like OmniHub in this case, we just remove the control and then we just send the wires to the automation system. The control will be disconnected and it will just not work anymore since the system or the automation system will control the pump itself. In the case of a TriStar 950, which was an older model, we will have this little plug, which is called communication bus. All we got to do is just do 2 wires instead of 3. And that will connect to our system of automation and it will control the pump. In the case of the new TriStar 950, or including the Super Pump 700 or Max Flow 500, The driver is a little bit different, but as you can see, it's pretty much the same. Right side, high voltage. Left side, we have our communication area. So all we got to do is unplug the control and then send the 3 wires from those numbers to those numbers, from the pump letter A to the OmniHub number 2, from the pump B to OmniHub number 3, and the communication on the pump or coming to number 4 on the OmniHub. Okay, this cable comes with the pump itself, so you will have it there. It will be a cable with 3 little cables on the inside, and they'll be colored red, black, and the other one be gray. This is the little board that I was telling you about a little before that we're gonna have to use to communicate a chlorination system with our automation system. So in order to have communication and see everything about the salt level and the chlorination production on our cell phone, we're gonna have to connect either a Acorite 900 or the Blue Essence. Well, we will need this little board, which is called the daughter board. All we gotta do is just install it. It's got a place to install. So after you plug it in, it's got 2 connectors. The bottom one will go to the main board of the chlorinator system, and then the top one will go to our system of OmniHub, or including OmniLogic, where we'll be talking about that tomorrow. Here you can see the connection on the board. If you want to install the controller, simple 4-plug or 4-wire little plug, you can't miss that. And then here in the middle, we have the bar where we put our sensors. The top 2 little plugs, these are sensors that have 2 wires, obviously. So the top 2 will be for the water temperature pretty much. The second 2 will be for the air temperature. And then the 5 and number 6 will be for an optional sensor. And the last 2 will be a connection to a heater. Low voltage connection, 2 little wires. It's simple like that. In this case, it's going to be plugged to a Hayward Universal Series heater, but it can be connected to a heat pump also. Internet. For the internet, like I said before, you can do a wire for a better connection, up to 300 feet or 91 meters. Do not exceed that, or simply just do Wi-Fi. For Wi-Fi, if you have a good signal on your cell phone when you're standing in front of it, the system will have a good signal also. So that's the best way of doing it or checking it. So again, if it doesn't connect to the internet, what's the best thing or the easiest way to fix it? Just check your internet connection. Make sure you have Wi-Fi, good signal right in front of this system. Once again, here's the link, hayward.com/firmware. So whenever you need to update the system, you can just go there. It's free. Just download it to a USB and then plug it into the system, and then you can update the system and have the new software. For example, the new one that is coming up, it will have an option of connecting and controlling competition pumps at the same time as the competition lights. So you will have that option. Nobody else has that. So we're gonna have that soon. We're talking about probably in April, maybe May. So just look up for the new updates and you will see more options that what we already have. Okay, just for people that are listening to me, in case that we talk Spanish, this system, it's available also in Spanish since last year, so you can do all the programming in Spanish. And for the programming, it's going to be very simple. This system is pretty much based out of questions. It will be question by question. When you first buy it, it will ask you how many bodies of water you have, if your filter pump it's variable speed or not, what's the maximum speed, the lower speed, if you want prime mode or not, if you want it to be 3 minutes or less or more. It will be question by question, so you can program every single thing that you have in your pool with this system, so you don't have to buy a specific item to get what you want. So once again, this is going to be based out of questions. Next week, we're going to see that in English and Spanish. So we'll have a new presentation ready for you. And once again, you're going to be programming the system the way that you want, the way that you have that pool of the customer or inclusive yourselves. Okay. So once again, keep tight for that. You can see here some pictures of installations. Very simple to install. It can be mounted on the wall, mounted on a cabinet. Here you can see how it's mounted on a cabinet, metal cabinet. You can mount it on posts. You can mount it on a certain pole or a metal tube, or on a concrete wall, metal wall, wood wall. Very easy to install, very simple. And here last, you can see a nice picture of a better installation and how it's compatible with other pieces of equipment, including filters, chlorinators, and so more. By the way, chlorinators will be kind of a turn on, turn off only, not exactly to see chemistry on your phone, but you can turn things on and off, that's for sure though. So here we come to the end. Again, this system is very simple in a certain way, but very advanced. It's a controller that will handle pretty much every single thing that we have in our pool. Not every single thing, I'm sorry, there's a limit for that, but it can handle a lot, including a chlorinator, any one of our variable speed pumps. It will be controlling variable speed pumps by the competition soon. Also the lights, it can control our lights and do more things with our lights, like I said, like control the speeds of the shows, have more options of solid colors, and also dim the lights. So you have all that option, do schedules, do egg timers, and see more things like simply your temperature, turn on your heater, turn it off, in spa mode or pool mode. I mean, you can do a lot of things. So here's our schedule to finalize. Our schedule for tomorrow will be OmniLogic. Please be with us. You'll be impressed after you hear this conversation. The OmniLogic, it's something way much more bigger. Like I said before, this is the daddy of the OmniHub. But you will see that it just got more capabilities. And then on April 9th, Thursday, we'll talk about automatic cleaners, suction and robotic. Next week, OmniHub and OmniLogic programming. So sit tight for that. That's going to be something completely new. And we will be doing a presentation on that. And then we'll have commercial pumps and filters on Wednesday and commercial automation and chemistry on Thursday. So if you have any questions, please write them down on the section of questions. At this point, I don't see that many. Actually, I don't see much. But if something comes up to your mind, here is Roberto Sablon, Regional Sales Manager for the Caribbean and Latin America. So you can call him or contact him. There's his email. And then for South America, you can talk to Rafael Acosta. And if you need any help with technical questions, you can contact me, Manny Exlawak for the Caribbean and Latin America. So thank you very much. We appreciate it. I don't see I don't see a question. I'm sorry. So thank you for being with us, and we'll see you tomorrow. Okay, bye bye.